Right, good morning bees. So what we're doing today is basically we are introducing the new queens to some hives which have had, trouble raising their own queen. So we have about 7 families, at the apiary, which for the last 2 months they've been struggling to raise, their own new queen, due to a number of factors, predominantly, the bee eaters, which are at their peak right now. And every time basically the new queen which hatches, she's got to do her mating flight, right? And whenever she leaves, 9 times out of 10 they fall victims to the bee eaters, which are circling, around the apiary. But what can you do? So I've given up on the idea that they will, basically raise their own queen. So now I bought 7 queens and I'm in the process of introducing them to the new hives. We've done that in the past. It's a pretty straightforward and boring process, but this hive in particular, this one is more interesting, and I thought I'll make this video and show you exactly what I mean. I know that inside this hive it hasn't been, it hasn't been queenless. I'll tell you why. It's because for the last, well, actually for more than 2 weeks, I know that there's been a queen inside, but yet I have never seen any eggs. I've seen the queen, I haven't seen any brood. So what that means is that the queen that has hatched in this hive is very likely defective. So what do you do then? Now this queen has been accepted by the hive, but she doesn't do her job. And because it's the time of the year when, bees do not naturally really want to be raising their own new queen again, because resources like pollen and honey and nectar are scarce, they just accepted her and she just roams around the hive and she does nothing, which means this is inevitably going to be the end of this hive. So now the way we're going to introduce the new queen, which I've bought, is quite let's say brutal, because it is. What we have to do is now we have to find the existing queen which is inside here, and I know that looking at what's up here, barely any bees, I assume she will be downstairs, right, in the first box. So I'm just going to open it up slightly, nice and gently, and we're going to have to start looking for her. See where they are? This is what we're looking for. This is obviously where, the main chunk of the bees is. So I will be looking for the queen in there. And once we have found her, well, sadly, we're going to have to catch her, which is going to be quite hard, because when she's not a laying queen, they move around the frames very, very quickly. And they're just trying to hide all the time. So now we're going to have to find her. And then, sadly, we're going to have to kill her. But we have to kill her in a brutal way, because I have to catch her, and then I'll have to, this is the last 2 we got left, and then I'll have to basically pick her little body up, and I'm gonna have to rub her guts onto this, cell. The reason being is because this queen's been already accepted, the one inside the hive. So if I was to just take her away and put this new one in, they will see that this is a foreign queen to them, right? And they will likely kill her, and this is exactly what we don't want happening, all right? So that's why I have to find the existing queen, kill her, and rub her insides onto the cell of the, the cage of the new queen, which you can see right here with the blue mark on her head. And once I've done that, I'm basically going to mask the scent of this queen to appear as if it's their own queen, which have they accepted already. So that way we minimize the chance of the new queen being killed. So just gonna place them right back in here for the time being until we find the queen. So we go nice and gently, because I haven't got the smoker. I really don't like using it, to be fair. I don't like causing them unnecessary trouble. I only use it if they're like super aggressive, and just go nice and slow, and they tend to keep nice and calm. So now we're gonna have to start looking carefully. The only thing I'm grateful for right now is that I'm not having to do this in springtime when there's like tens of thousands of bees inside. And finding the queen then, finding a needle in a haystack. It's not great. The boys are going crazy on something, barking out loud. I can't see the queen on here. I would assume she's probably somewhere towards the middle. I mean, I'll be really happy if we were to, find out that somehow, miraculously, she's started laying brood. So that way I won't have to kill her. But we'll see about that. I know that she's a very tiny queen inside here. So she's, not much more distinctive than, the worker bees. So we just gotta keep an eye out. I would assume she's probably on the next 2 frames. Because these one are the honey and pollen, and see how little pollen they have. That's not good. They need at least 1 full frame of pollen, for them to have the strength of raising this critical, like, winter brood, which is gonna take them through to the next year. So slow. We don't want to startle them and get attacked. Right, once I find her, next thing I worry about is how am I going to catch her, because with these leather gloves I can barely catch onto anything like that tiny. And be gentle, giving them a little blow to move them away. I just want to check these cells if they've got any brood inside. No, they haven't. I was hoping to see some brood in here now. She should be somewhere on here, but where? Very good question. Let's have a look around the other side. I can't see her. God, like the sun is very strong today. Can't see her on here. So I'll have a look around this side. I would have expected it to be onto, on this frame. There is a chance that they might have realised, she's not doing a job. They may have killed her. And that won't be good, because I wouldn't know if that's happened for a fact. I mean, if I can't find her, because if I'm to introduce, as I say, this new queen without taking care of the old one, we might cause more harm, than help. Might just waste, this new fertile queen, which will, start laying straight away. Can you hear this chirping, like birds chirping in the distance? These are the bloody bee eaters. A single grown adult bee eater can quite easily eat north of 2,000 bees a day. Hence why I'm not a huge fan of them. They're lovely looking birds, absolutely gorgeous, but they could cause quite a bit of harm. It's a good thing that we've got, you know, the dogs like Biggie and Tupac around there, and inherently they apparently turned out to be, you know, hunting dogs, in particular hunting birds. I heard someone, you know, checking them out, and yeah, that's the reason why they killed my chickens, because they have that instinct. And yeah, sometimes the bee eaters, they get very comfortable around the apiaries, and they'll literally just come down in front of the hive and start snacking on bees right from the entrance of the hive, which is like terrible for us. But having Biggie and Tupac around, they don't allow that to happen. As soon as they get near, I mean, as soon as they come down low, you know, towards the hives, I see Biggie and Pac just chasing them off. So that's a positive. But anything in the sky, in the space above the hives, is being guarded by these bee eaters right now. That's what I'm saying. It's like this queen is so small. She's so small. It's just hard to see her in between the other bees. She's just not much more different like they usually are. Because once they become fertile and they feed up on royal jelly like nicely, they tend to increase their size significantly, you know, compared to after they've hatched. So now we're going backwards. Now putting this one here, this one I've just looked at it, and then we're going right back at it, one by one, once again. So there is only a handful of bees compared to what there is in spring. So you see how much time it's taken me to find the queen bee, you know, within a handful of worker bees. And then imagine I have 30,000 bees inside, you know, all of the boxes in springtime, and then I have to find the queen and get her isolated. Only the ones that have done some beekeeping, they know what I'm talking about and the amount of work that actually goes into this part of the process. I'm not saying the rest of the, you know, beekeeping process is like easy, but to me personally, it's, you know, this is the most dreadful one. And you just could take like hours just looking for one bee. This is gonna be a long video. That's so funny. Like the last few times I've been doing the checks, I just open up, you know, the hive, and without looking for the queen, she's pretty much the very first thing in the eye I see. Now, when I come here with the task of actually finding her, nowhere to be found. It's frustrating. I can't see her on here either. Nice and slowly. I really hope. Okay, I startled them a little bit, but they are starting to get agitated because I've kept them open, you know, for quite some time now, and they don't really appreciate that, to be fair. Just gotta be very careful now. Okay, nice and easy. She's got to be on this frame. That's just so annoying. Oh, come on. Alright guys, well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this video short until I find her, and once I have, I'll start filming again and show you the rest of the process, because otherwise that video gets unnecessarily too long. Right, bees. After quite some time, I found her. She wasn't in the first box, she was in the second box, and she's got no business to be there whatsoever. But she's on this frame. Where she's gone now, by the time I turn on the camera, I guess I'm gonna have to find her again now. Where she's gone. Oh man. If I've lost her completely by the time I turned on the camera, I'll be pretty annoyed. She was just right here in the middle. I might have gone around the other side. Oh my days. Can't see her on this side either now. Ah, that's annoying. Where did you go? Murphy's Law appears to be in like full effect today. That's unreal. Like literally. Less than a minute ago she was here. Just cruising around. Ah, here she is. Finally found her. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to, because I can't catch her with my gloves, they're too chunky, I'm going to squeeze her head right here. Oh, I hate doing this, man. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna have to effectively paralyze her. I need to be quick because the bees will now start protecting her. Look at how tiny she is. No wonder she's not laying any eggs. Right, I'm gonna move her over here. There she is, and I'm going to just squeeze her head so she doesn't go anywhere. Oh, I hate this part, man. So these guys go back in here. So I found the queen over here. Now we need a stick. Actually, this tree didn't make it, so I don't know what happened. It dried up and it died. I'm just going to use that as a stick. Then we put the stick aside. Oh, I hate seeing it like this. I'm so sorry. Oh, I hate this part, man. And now we get a new fertile queen, which is going to start laying eggs. And then we take the old queen. See how tiny she is. The wings are damaged. Yeah, she just wasn't meant to be the ruler of this hive. She's had 3 weeks to start laying eggs. And now we're going to rub her guts on this cage over here. Alright. So the pheromones are going to stick onto the cage. This is savage. It brings me no pleasure whatsoever. But now we've masqueraded, we've hid the new proper queen behind the scent of the old queen, which has been accepted already. So now that you've given it a good rub, you can get rid of the body parts. Take the stick, push it through here. Actually, the other way around seems to be the way to go. I hate these gloves. I wish I could work without them, but I can't. I'm not that OG. Alright. Now we're going to bring back the new queen from where we've taken the last queen. We narrow down the gap. Ooh, I nearly forgot the most important part. You have to open up the bottom of the cage. There we go. So this is solid food. The bees are going to eat through it to release the queen. Gonna have to push it back a little bit. There we go. Now just take a look at what's going on now. They're all gonna start rushing towards it. You see that? So we've done what we could do, and now it's just a matter of them not noticing the difference in the queens. In about 4 or 5 days, I'll come back and double check what's happened over here, and hopefully I will find brood. Once I've found brood, I know that we are done with this hive until the following year. Just gonna bring this back nice and slow. There we go. Right, well, that took a while. That's just how it is. Right, there we go. Alright bees, I hope you enjoyed this bit more than I did. Alright, have a good day. Speak to you soon.